Atlanta United Fan TV, we're here with Greggo. We're here for a season preview. Give us your thoughts on what you expect and what you're most looking forward to, all that from the season.
I think the biggest thing is just how we actually deal with the expectations. Last year, as an expansion team, of course, we had a lot of hype, but I don't think there's really
The hype came later.
Yeah, right. Like any type of like championship expectations, things like that, they weren't really there. Now that people seeing what we can do, we had another year to build and to grow. The expectations are going to be there, and not everybody knows how to handle that and say that can we follow this up?
Yeah.
And I think that coming into the season with Barco already injured, that's already one setback that we have to deal with. And it's going to be, I think this first month or so is going to be real tricky as far as how we adjust and how we adapt to the new pieces that we have in our 11, and how we catapult that towards the rest of the season.
Yeah. Any more thoughts on the thing you're looking forward to the most, or maybe you're dreading, or?
No, I think one of the key things I'm looking forward to is seeing Nagbe play. Of course, he's a different type of midfielder than what we had with Carmona, so there's definitely going to be a different dynamic as far as how aggressive we are in defense, how aggressive we are in attack. So definitely with him, I think that he will actually allow Almiron to move around a lot more because, of course, hit the ball around him sticks around like glue. So you really have to. That's one more piece that you really have to account for and say, okay, I have to watch him, and I have to watch Almiron, and I have to watch Martinez, and I have to watch Villalba. So how that all gels together in the game time environment, that's going to be real huge as far as I think how we navigate through this first part of the season with Barco out. I'm hoping, like I've been telling you, my guy Carlton will get a chance to play. I'm pretty sure it'll be either him or Gressel. So hopefully, how we adjust with that injury will go a long way as far as how we move forward to start the season.
Because it's of utmost importance really to start the season well and on a positive. So with Barco out, do you see us with needing to build momentum, especially on the road? Can we start off this month off right?
I think actually the biggest thing starting off the season is going to be our back line. Parkhurst has been out for a little bit in the preseason. Escobar had a late start, so we really haven't had and Garza has also been out as well, so we really haven't had much of an opportunity where we've seen all of our main guys all at one time. So I think that these first couple of games is really going to be a real test as far as how they're going to hold up. And I think if they hold up, we should be all right. We'll be able to work out our things in attack. So how quickly Parkhurst reintegrates into the back line. Of course, him being our captain, it's really going to go a long way as far as how quickly we start off.
Right. So once we have our projected starting 11 all playing together, how do you think the addition of Franco Escobar will add to our defense / offense?
I think as a fullback, Escobar will be definitely a valuable addition. Of course, we had Walks and Mears last year. Of course, with both of them gone, we really had to make sure that one, he stays healthy, and then two, that he meshes well with the rest of our guys. Like I said, he wasn't around for most of the preseason, so how he integrates is just as important as how Parkhurst reintegrates. So we really have to see how this, I say, probably the first 5-6 weeks are going to go as far as how well we adjust to one another, and hopefully if that works well. Of course, we still have Gazan. He was a wall for us last year. I expect the same thing this year. I think that I don't think it's really a stretch for me to say that he's probably the best keeper right now in MLS, given how hot he was last year, and I expect more of the same this year. So it really all depends on how the back line goes.
So in terms of goal scorers, in terms of leading goal scorer, in terms of assist man, who are they for you?
Yeah, I definitely expect Joseph to have another strong year. I'm hoping that he stays healthy, because when he's healthy, we're lights out. So it's really a lot of it's going to ride on how healthy he is. Of course, we have Romario in from Charleston. We still have Vasquez, so he has another year under his belt. So, in the event where Joseph does go out, I think that we're still okay. But of course, he is an X factor, so you really have to make sure that he's on the field as much as possible. Assist-wise, I'm definitely thinking Amaron. However, I do think that once Barco gets healthy, given the versatility that he has, I think that he's going to be a real important cog in our offense. Him and Nagbe. So, like I was saying before, we have so many options in attack that really it's going to make it even harder for a defense to really figure out, like which way are we really going to attack. So that way, whether it's Villalba, Joseph, Barco, Amaron, like I said, Greggo, like there's so many options. So you really have to, keep your head on a swivel and figure out like which way we're going to go.
Now, in terms of a key off-season loss, it was Carlos Carmona. How do you see us replacing his production? Obviously, he's a different type of player than Nagbe, which that is the logical, one-for-one there. But essentially, we will lose a little bit of that bulldog mentality and really intercepting and blocking passes in the midfield versus keeping the ball. What do you think how effective will that be in, for our defense and us keeping maybe clean sheets and, and all that?
That's to be determined, to be quite honest with you. I think that, as I was saying before, since we really didn't have a lot of our pieces together during the preseason, we really haven't had a full run with all of our guys all together at one time. And I think that given how Lorentowicz and Carmona played together last year, it's going to be a different dynamic, obviously, with Nagbe, and also how Lorentowicz drops back to support Perez and Parkhurst. So with that, I think that how that all gels together this year, like I said, it's really going to be tricky. I think this first month or so, especially as everyone gets back healthy. I'm hoping that all things considered, Nagbe will play some defense, and if he does that, then I think we'll be straight. So it's just a matter of all that gelling together.
Now, there is a stat out there from yesteryear that Nagbe, he got like plaudits for it, but I'm not so sure. He was the person that committed the least fouls in as a player. So, sometimes you got to have that strategic foul, all that type of stuff. Do you feel like he's going to be able to, do enough defensively this year to kind of offset?
I think that ultimately he'll figure it out. Tyson doesn't strike me as a guy that will keep a guy on the field just because of his name. Yeah. So Nagy's going to have to figure it out pretty quickly as far as like the type of work rate that's involved to play effectively in our 11. So I do think that once he figures that out, he'll be all right. Of course, if it doesn't work out there, of course, we have Greggo that knows the system and knows the work that it takes. So I think that having that type of competition will only make us better. So I think that he'll figure it out. I think that my hope is that with his challenges, it's just a matter of his challenges aren't getting called, and he's just that silky. So
Yeah, sure.
so hopefully he'll figure that out, and we'll all work together, and everything will be fine.
Now, in terms of the fans, we were very well known for being very loud, rowdy, and proud, obviously. So how do you foresee us and our progression as fans for 2018?
Loud. Very, very loud.
Well, so in terms of, obviously, I don't know if it's possible for us to get louder, but in terms of our support, how we can improve that, maybe our tifos, maybe maybe our chants, like, is there something that you want to see from us as supporters?
Well, I can tell you, as we speak, we're actually working on our first tifo, so that's going to be huge for next weekend. So definitely look out for that. Obviously we have a year under our belt now, so I think that in that regard, there were definitely some high points last year and some low points last year, because we kind of, we're learning, we were winging it last year. I think that now that we have a year under our belts and we have some experience, like what things did work, what things didn't work, we can be a lot smarter as far as, like, when to do a chant, or what how to hang up the tifo up at the stadium. So it's definitely going to be it's going to be interesting to see, like, how we all gel together. Now that I think that most of our growing pains are done. I think that last year, having the first this and having the first that, and now that we can say, okay, that's all done, we can actually settle in and say, and get into our groove now. I think that things will come out a lot smoother. Like I said, I think it'll get even louder than before. It'll get even more colorful than before. So I hope that whatever happens this year, of course, we're going to keep it fun. We're going to keep it lit.
Yeah, I love it. Well, that does it for our season preview. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to smash a like. Remember to subscribe if you haven't. And we'll see you in the next video, and also in 2018.